If you would like to learn how to lead and follow, this video is for you. This is part 2 and it's coming right up.
There's a wind and it's blowing. There's a current that's running deep. I can't see but I know it. That something's not what it's meant to be. Hearing brother against brother now. Anger grows on.
Hey everyone, I'm Aldon, creator of Dance Systems. Dance Systems is a learning system where everyone can learn to dance in a really quick, fun and easy way. Cracking the code to a perfect lead and follow part 2. Hopefully you've all seen part 1. If not, you can always refer to it. It's not that important that you watch these videos in order, but let me just do a quick recap of part 1. So on part 1 we learned about posture, we learned about dance pressure and dance hold. Today we are going to continue with our adventure. Watch to the end where I will reveal to you my top tips which will really help accelerate your learning. So let's get into the content. The first point is lead by exception. Guys, I cannot tell you how important this point is, and it's also one of the secrets to being a light lead and a light follow, but we're going to be getting into that on another video. So lead by exception, we're going to look at it from 2 perspectives. First part is we're going to look at it from the lead's perspective, and then we're going to look at it from the follower's perspective. So from the lead's perspective, I want you to think about it as very much a conversation, having a nice conversation with someone. The whole idea is that you want to match your voice and your tone with the other person. So the idea is we don't want to shout and we don't want to talk too quietly. Best way to communicate. Okay, so dance is exactly the same thing. So let me give you an example. All I'm going to be doing is giving Kami an impulse to just do a basic open. And I'm going to give the impulse and she's going to do the response, the follow. I'll give it back again and again and again. So the whole idea about this is leading by exception really means I give a gentle impulse and I don't do anything else until I want a change to happen. So in this situation, I'll be doing my open. I've given my impulse. I'm not doing anything else. I'm completely relaxed. When I want Kami to return to me, I'll give the impulse to return, and she does, but nothing else is going on. The whole idea is not to overlead, and that introduces noise into a conversation. It's exactly the same in dance. Okay, so again, one more time. So open and close. As you can see, apart from the lead, I'm not introducing any other movement because again, any other movement or impulse becomes confusing for the follower to deliver. Now, let's talk about it from the follower's perspective. Now, for all those science buffs out there, I gave it some thought, and probably the closest thing I can think of is Newton's first law of motion. So let's just calm that down. This is dance, right? Okay, so really what we want to do is think about it as things like to remain in the state that they are, whether it's a stationary state or it's something in motion. And it's exactly the same thing for dance. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's just take just a basic forward walk. What I'm going to do is I'm going to initiate the impulse to start to walk. And as we start to walk, Kami, the follower, feels the impulse and she's going to continue with that same motion until she feels a change. Now, as the lead, I want to stop. So I would give the impulse to stop. So as far as Kami is concerned, she responds by the stop. Now, let's reverse it out again. I would give the impulse to start the actual movement. Here's the impulse and she'll respond. I don't have to do anything else because Kami is obeying the law. She'll continue absolutely in the same direction and at the same speed until there's a change, and that would be my stop here. So again, just to recap. So for the follower, please remember to keep your speed and direction exactly the same until you feel a change.
What if I blew it? A little mistake. Would it be over?
So now that we've got our lead by exception understood and sorted, the next point up is impulse. And a really, really nice way to explain impulse is to think about body tension. Now, if you were planking, that would be 100% of your body tension, okay? But in dance, our resting or our dance tension, I would say, is about 5% of our plank tension. Just enough tension in your body to make sure that you've got your good posture and your frame sorted. Everything else is very much relaxed, just like in any other athletic exercise. So now that I've got my 5% working with my impulse, the whole idea with the impulse is you're going to be increasing and reducing your body tension in order to generate the impulse. So let's just have a look at this. If we go back to the example of the open that we were using before, the idea is I'm going to introduce tension. So here I am at 5%, and Kwame is also the resting tension at 5%. Lats engaged, of course. Okay. And from here, I'm going to increase my body tension a little bit, not too much, just enough so that Kwame can feel it well. And as I'm doing it, that initiates, she's expecting to receive the lead as soon as I start to increase my body tension. So I start to increase my body tension, and then I give the impulse. In this case, it's just a slight open. And as I do it, she responds. You can see I've already dropped the impulse. So again, I start to initiate, building up the tension in my body and giving the return impulse and then releasing. So the whole idea with dance and lead and follow is that I'm introducing the impulse and I'm letting it go. I'm reducing the tension and I'm letting it go. Now, each dance step, of course, has its own lead and follow, and that's going to be coming in another video. But the whole idea that I would like you to understand now is the concept of the lead actually being an increase and a decrease in body tension.
What if I blew it? A little mistake.
So point 3 is the follower always moves a fraction of a second after the lead. Because if the lead and follow are moving at the same time, it's called choreography, as opposed to lead and follow. And it becomes really evident when that is the case, when it's, that's not adhered to. So the whole idea is, if the follow is going to move a second after lead, followers, please remember, wait for that impulse and then start to move slightly after your lead moves. A good lead will initiate, will prepare the impulse, will start the lead's movement, and then the follow will move a fraction of a second after that.
What if I blew it? A little mistake.
So you made it to the bonus section. Well done. Guys, the bonus section is where so much of the great stuff actually occurs, because it's amazing how sometimes just a little nuance or a little bit of information can make such a difference to your dancing. So let's get right into it. The first bonus tip that I wanted to give you was, as the lead, please prepare or start to initiate your lead on 8. On the 8th count, as opposed to the first count or 1. So let me give you an example of this, and then I'm going to explain why you should do this. Okay. So let's just say I wanted to do a forward walk, and I'm going to count it in. So let's go. So it would be 5, 6, 7, 8, and I waited for 1, and then I went on 1. It would look like that. 1. And 2. As you can see, Kwame is not really responding really well because it's almost like a surprise for her. The whole idea is like surprises are good, but maybe not so much in dance. Okay. Please give your partner a little bit of warning before you start the movement. That way you also lower the overall ease of the dance. You don't want to freak your partner out. This needs to be a very easy, well communicated dance. Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so what do I mean by prepare an 8? We would start. So let's start just our weight completely centered, and I'll count it in again. So it would look like 5, 6, 7. On 8, I would start to give the impulse, which is actually our prepare impulse, and I'll be going into this prepare impulse and step in future videos. So this is our starting position. So Kami knows something's going to happen already on 8. So she's got a full count to realize something is going to happen. And then after that, because our weight is properly centered and positioned, we can step off in a very light and smooth way with absolutely no jerking and a really, really light and effortless action. So I'll show you one more time. So 5, 6, 7, ready on 8, and then stepping out on 1, 2, 3. There we go. Next bonus tip is followers and leads. Please step at the end of the beat, not on the beat. Again, reason for doing this is it creates just a little bit more ease in your dance. And it doesn't make it look so bouncy or so jarry. Let me demonstrate. So again, let's just use exactly the same step close step again. And I wanted to show you again. This is stepping at the end of the beat. So, and 1, 2, 3, 4. Of course, Kami's still stepping a fraction later than me, but I'm arriving at the end of the beat. So she's arriving even at the end of that. So have a look at this. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me show you again what it looks like when we step at the beginning of the beat. This is what it would look like. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Completely different look and feel. Another amazing tip is all about response time. What do I mean by response time? Well, that's the time that the follower responds after the follower receives the lead. Now guys, the whole idea about response time is it's important that the response time also matches the music or the energy of the music. Let's use a very similar example. Okay, so this time we're going to be doing just the normal open again. So I'm going to give the actual response to open. So here's the response. Kami would respond in that way, and we would close. Now let's say I wanted to go faster because the song was on a faster tempo. The whole idea is when I do my impulse, it's slightly more body tension with a quicker impulse. Same impulse for the movement, but just changing my body tension. And Kami responds quicker. And if I want to bring her back quicker, it'll be quicker. If I wanted to go slow, it'll be exactly the same story again. My tension will be slightly less and the impulse will be slightly less, and she'll flow through it. So the whole idea is it's quite important to practice about being able to deliver a lead quickly and to be able to deliver a lead more slowly. Followers, please remember, please match your lead's impulse. And then of course, bear music in mind as well, because depending on the energy of the music, let's say it's a fast song, you would definitely want a faster open and close. Whereas on a slower type of song, you would want a slower, more flowy movement. I hope you've enjoyed this content. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and smash that bell so that you never miss out on this amazing content that's coming out, and also where we start to delve into dance proper.